Alrighty.
Hello, hello.
Hello. I think, yes, we are live. Fantastic. Let me just get the chat up.
Yes.
Okay. Hello, hello.
Do we have the chat up? I know our private chat is still up on my end. I don't know how to get rid of it.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes, there we go.
There. Fantastic. Hello, everyone. So sorry about the late starts. Had a couple technical difficulties, but we are all good now. Hi from New Zealand. Hello. Hello. Thank you for joining. New Zealand. I want to go to New Zealand so bad.
Hey, Brittany Goss. How are you doing? Brittany just had a major development in her manifestation game.
Ooh.
I won't pull her spot up because you don't want me to, but may have re-entered.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Hell yeah, Brittany. All right. Some people coming in.
Yes. Oh, Ann P, Makeup and More. I see you, girl. Hello. Oh, a lot of people from my side. Love it. I see Becky. Call. Hello. Okay, sorry.
No,
your subscribers know I'm a big mouth and I just keep talking.
Oh,
Did you warn them?
This is the first time we've been able to collaborate on my channel. That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, for anybody who is joining who is not familiar with the wonderful Kimberly from Manifest Kimberly, she is here joining us today. We're going to be answering questions. It's going to be fun. Brittany is the shit right now. That is awesome. Girl, hell yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just letting some people come on in. And we'll get the questions rolled out here in just a minute. Kimberly, how are you doing, by the way? I haven't even had a chance to really ask you how you're doing.
I'm just busy. Just freaking busy.
Oh,
but you understand that, don't you?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I do.
Never stops, but it's a good thing.
It is. It's good issues to have, right?
Exactly. Well, hello, Hillary Reese. I see you, sweet warrior. Hello. Adelaide's here. Hello. Thank you guys for coming over here.
Yeah.
Supporting me.
Thank you so much for joining, guys.
Yes. So it doesn't look like I don't have any friends. Thank you.
Oh, you got lots of love.
Love it.
Yay.
Well, I already told her I was bragging on her today, and because of one of my friends will be with us on Tuesdays. Oh, love it, Hillary. Another channel member? Yes, I'm down with that. Thank you. Love it.
Hell yes. All right, getting some people in here. Is the stream okay, everyone? And can everyone see me okay? Just, I guess, shout if there's any audio or video issues that go on. So I just found you because of Kimberly. Watch your SB success story. Thank you for the help and encouragement to others on this journey. Oh, thank you. And you are so welcome. You are so welcome. Oh.
Seriously, though, I already told you. You know I love that video of yours. It's so good. It is so good.
Thank you. That was putting myself out there like that. I had to, though. It was like there's so many peaks and valleys on this journey that a lot of people can usually relate to.
Yes.
And just being your raw, authentic self out there, I think that's so important to me. So I'm glad you guys liked it.
I love that you were honest about the ups and downs and how you were feeling during that time. Because I don't think everybody shares that on here on YouTube. I don't think everybody shares just how, sad and depressed we can get when our stuff isn't here yet, especially when it's matters of the heart.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Not always the easiest journey at times.
No. But it shows that if you persist through it, there's a light at the end of that tunnel.
Absolutely. There is. Hello, Erin. Hello, everyone.
I've been focusing hard on self-concept. Currently in no contact. Now I know my self-concept has solidified.
Been focusing hard on self-concept. Currently in no contact. How do I know when my self-concept has solidified? Kimberly, do you want to go ahead and answer? Let's start you out.
Okay. Pressure.
No
Pressure.
pressure. No
People.
pressure.
Okay. All right. So first of all, I'm glad that you're working on your self-concept. Now, I say this to everyone on my channel. Listen, first of all, don't try not to acknowledge that you're in no contact. I know in your 3D, that's what it's appearing, but you need to know that there is always movement within your manifestation. Always. You may not see it. You may feel like there's no contact, but your specific person is not separate from you. I know it feels that way. They feel like completely separate entities. They are not. We are all connected, every one of us. So, as far as, I don't want you to think that whatever self-concept work you're doing hasn't worked so far or that hasn't solidified. I am of the belief that once you begin your self-concept journey, that it begins working immediately. Yes, we keep pressing at it, right? Because it's the repetitive, I'm lacking the word, like the repetitiveness of it. It's what helps to, let's say, deeply impress, but it's always working the moment you start, but we keep going. Just because there's still no contact doesn't mean that your self-concept work hasn't solidified. But let me just say this. If you find yourself that you are constantly questioning whether this is going to work, why I'm still in no contact, there's still a little part of you that is having some doubts that this is actually going to work. And we should address that. That's my opinion.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well said. Well said. You'll know the self-concept has solidified because you'll have less and less of those questioning doubts. And
Yes.
I mean, there's to a certain degree, there can still be some of that, but it's I always look at it like, what is the dominant state of consciousness that you're dwelling in more often than not?
Yes.
Right. So just being very mindful of what you're occupying, where you're occupying, what, mental conversations, mental diet, all
Yes.
of that. Yeah. That will tell you everything you need to know.
Yes.
Absolutely. Please talk about reality shifting or quantum dimensional jumping. Oh man, I love this. Both of your experiences with it. I am making a whole video. I need to make a series talking about quantum jumping. I have made a video talking about it. I need to kind of expand on that video because that was about several months ago. So I definitely need to update on that one. But let's just say that this rabbit hole goes pretty deep.
Talk about it. I'm nosy. Come on. What are your experiences? Because I'll just say right off the top, it's not like I experience so much in the physical, other than I notice reality changes. If that makes sense. I'm trying not to be too wordy because I have a habit of being really wordy. I notice it's my thinking. It's like I go to bed as a person, wake up as another, and not as another person, but you know what I'm saying. And a different, what I believe is a different reality, and everyone has shifted with me. That's been my experience. But it's not like some woo, I feel like the whoosh, I've quantum jumped. It's nothing like that, right?
No, I mean, I wouldn't say it's any kind of like, what's that movie? Not quite like The Matrix, not like anything like that. But it is more, it's noticing a pretty drastic shift rather quickly from where you were before.
Yep.
Right.
And that people are reflecting that, like, as if they have shifted with you. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Like you wake up and you're in a completely, like, things may look the same, the people may be the same physical person, but a lot is different.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I can honestly say that when I first started this journey on my own, I still questioned our ability to do it, to be honest. It was still something I doubted until I experienced it myself. And I remember the day that I was like, what has happened? I felt such an elation, if that's even the right description. I felt such an elation, and I almost like I couldn't accept that this can't be it. This can't be what just happened. But
Yeah.
I should have never doubted, and anybody doubting out there, it will come. It will come to you.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I was a skeptic too.
Yes.
I was very logic minded, very analytical, like don't believe it till I see it kind of person.
Yep.
But
Same.
don't don't limit yourself, guys. Don't limit
Yes.
yourself. It's people like you and Kim and singing and all you ladies literally saying, "Oh,
Thank you.
thank you." Oh, much love. All right, Mike C. How can revision alter / change your past where other people don't remember? How can revision alter or change your past where other people? So is that asking whether that's possible or trying to
It is
follow?
possible, by the way.
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely. How can revision alter change your past where other people don't remember? How to do that? First off, yes, you can absolutely revise to where other people don't remember whatever event it is that you're trying to erase.
Yes.
Absolutely. I believe that's the question, right?
Yeah.
I believe so. And if I'm missing anything, feel free to.
You know what? I was going to say this. Look, here's me being wordy. I think that people think when we discuss revision, it's like we're hopping in the, in the back of a DeLorean and we're driving back to the future. And that's not, but to simplify it for you, first of all, yes, you can revise anything you choose. Anything. We are limitless beings. But put it in perspective of it's a memory. It's a memory that we are changing. It's not like we go back to the physical. We alter the memory, and then your 3D, like I said, this is the simplified version. Your 3D like catches up like a ripple or a butterfly effect.
Yep.
Kind of
it
like
reflects that new memory.
Yes.
New memory. Yeah. So that's absolutely. You can revise to where other people also don't recall.
Yes.
Whatever it was that happened.
Yes.
100%.
And I know one of my friends who I think she's here tonight, my girlfriend Brienne, she's the revision queen. Like she's had more amazing experiences with revision. It legitimately works.
Oh, revision is the game changer.
Yes.
The game changer. I'm telling you guys, don't underestimate revision.
Yes.
Don't underestimate it. Jackson Brown, how do affirmations affect persistence or letting go?
How
does it? You want to go ahead?
Well, I'm not sure what you're asking, actually. How do affirmations affect persistence or letting go? Well, first of all, let me just say right from the jump, we never have to let go of anything we're trying to manifest. You don't have to let go. We let go of the worrying and the doubting, but you don't have to let go as far as thinking about your manifestation.
Right. You don't let go of the desire itself.
Yeah. But I'm not sure what you're asking. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm
sorry. How do you work
through being ghosted by an SP? Just met through a dating app and haven't met in person yet. And currently in no contact. How do you work through being ghosted by an SP? Well, I mean, the way I look at it, the way I teach is all of it boils down to self-con. Everyone is you pushed out. Everyone is you pushed out. So how do you work through being ghosted? Go within. Really start to, kind of dig into, how is this reflection, like what in me is causing this kind of reflection? That's kind of a good opportunity and a way to segue into self-concept.
Yes.
Yeah. That's first things first. Do you have anything to add to that?
Well, I was going to say, I noticed with you mentioning the details that you just met through a dating app and haven't met on a personal yet. I just want to let you know, like that part doesn't matter. An SP is an SP. Doesn't matter if you know them yet, in person. It doesn't matter if it's an ex. It doesn't matter if it's your neighbor. You can manifest a specific person regardless.
Right.
But when you've been ghosted, other than, yes, obviously working on your self-concept, on my channel, I won't swear over here, but On my channel, I teach to the 3D.
Nah.
Okay? meaning we can accept what we're seeing, right? We can accept it, meaning we can acknowledge, but we don't have to think it's our permanent existence. We don't have to think that, okay, I've been ghosted, I have to give up on this manifestation now. No.
No, absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. Never,
No.
ever. The 3D circumstances never matter. Ever.
Never. Kim, after last night, I feel so much more empowered having a plan of action. Love it, Adelie. Thank you. I'm getting my shit no matter how much I cry. Love it, Adelie. Love it. I'm very proud of you.
Yes, I love that. Hell yes. Can you manifest a scene where SP is obsessing over you? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Imagination is limitless.
Yes.
Is it a necessity to invoke the sense of smell and hearing during sats? I wouldn't say it's necessary, no. Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm. No.
Are you asking that? I'm wondering because I believe Neville mentioned, that when we're doing visualizations, it's a good idea to add our senses if possible.
Right.
But if you can't, it doesn't mean your visualization is going to fail. You know what I mean?
Right. If you can, he used the words adding tones of reality with the imaginal senses, but basically play on your strengths. So if you are a visual person, if you are better with auditory or sense of touch, whatever it might be, like play on your strengths. But if something comes more naturally or maybe comes with more difficulty, it's okay. Like it's not going to fail just because your vision isn't 100 or hearing isn't 100.
Yeah. You know what, Missy, I wanted to ask you because even to this day, first of all, I always openly discuss that visualizing was never my strength. Mm-hmm. It is a mental muscle that I've had to work and just get better at.
Yep.
But even to this day, I still don't get, and I am under the belief that this doesn't matter. I still don't get a picture perfect, like TV quality worthy 4K
high definition.
Yeah, I don't get that, but I don't think that matters. Mm-hmm. I still get, sometimes I even get what's the word, a snowy picture, almost like the old TVs. Sometimes visuals are like that, but I do think that if we have the belief that they are still effective, then they will be, because it's our assumption.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it doesn't need to be, and I think that's a common misconception because Neville does talk about sats a lot and the tones of reality and all that, and I think there's there's an impression that you have to have this picture perfect scene or it's not going to manifest, and that's not true.
Yeah,
just to clarify, like the important part is the feeling anyway.
Yeah. Do you get? What's your picture like? Is it perfect? Do you get a picture perfect visual or no?
I've gotten when I do sats, I can, it feels like I'm there. But let me tell you, it was not that way for a long time. Like when I first started trying to visualize, I sucked at it. It was like I couldn't see anything. It was like pitch black or fuzzy. Yeah, you described it. It's like a muscle that you just have to work at it and practice with it.
Yes.
Yeah. It's gotten better, but definitely wasn't that way.
Yeah.
All right, Nicole, do you get that? Do you get to that shift with SC? Do you get to that shift?
Do you mean the state shifting your state? Is that what you mean?
Do you get to that shift with self-concept? The state. Are you talking about shifting to the state?
I think she is. I think when we were talking about like quantum shifting earlier.
Oh.
I think she might be referring to that.
Oh, do you get to that shift with working on your self-concept? Will you?
I believe she's asking, do we shift? Do we get ourselves to shift through self-concept? And
gotcha. Like the
shift in the state. Yeah. The state shifting. I can see her answer up there.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want my answer to discourage you from doing self-concept. Okay. So that's not what I'm trying to say. I feel it's more of like an embodiment of the state
yes.
to shift. Meaning, we'll use, if you're manifesting a specific person, we'll use that for a minute. The state, I like to call it's the woman or the man who has it all state. The state where all your wishes are fulfilled. What would it feel like to be there? What would your thoughts be if you already had everything right here manifested in that 3D with you? What would that's my take on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
it's embodying that to shift. So does your self-concept have to be perfect to shift? No, I don't think so. But that's because each state, from my understanding, each state has its own self-concept, experiences, its own thoughts and assumptions and beliefs per state. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Nailed it. That's exactly it.
Yes.
Exactly. Well said. Couldn't have said it better.
Thank you very much. So yes, okay, self-concept work does help. Yes, but the idea is to focus on what would you think and feel like if everything was here. That is what I believe helps you to embody the state.
Yes. Yes. And for me, like the whole purpose and point of self-concept work was to kind of help remove any of that resistance, any of the limiting beliefs that I carried and all the things from that old state that wasn't like, not that I couldn't shift without that, but it certainly made it feel less believable, or like, when I tried to embody that perfect version or that version that I desired, it didn't really feel right because there was a lot of conflicting beliefs and assumptions there that I had, which is where the self-concept came in, and like really working on that helped to better embody that state. I hope that makes sense.
It does. Yes, it does.
Good. Does the old story / old negative thoughts have to play out to get your manifestation? Mm-mm. Or is this a limiting belief? Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we love it. There we go.
There we go. I feel right before I get it, I'm sometimes throwing the old story, then I get what I want. I mean, that can happen. That can happen. I mean, I've certainly had, I've certainly experienced times where it seemed like in the 3D things got worse before ultimately it showed up. But does it have to play out that way?
No.
No. Nope. Though that does happen.
Yes.
For Missy, during your revisions, did you experience butterfly effect like movements in your 3D? And did you feel unexplainable emotional shifts? Yes. Yes.
That's my friend Brianne I was telling you about earlier, who does the revision work. That's my girl.
Oh, hey. What is up?
Yeah.
Yes. So I definitely noticed a lot of shifts. And like at times it was, what's that? Not imposter syndrome, because it wasn't like a bad feeling, but it certainly, I had like a lot of feelings and emotions that I certainly hadn't really been well versed in before. Yeah. And yes, I did notice a lot of, just crazy reflections into 3D. Yeah. It was wild. How to handle when SP manifests back after years of zero contact, but is still the same undesired version.
Persist. Remember, you have to see them as the version that you prefer first. Everything starts within you first. We manifest out. That's my belief. Yeah.
Yeah.
You working on your self-concept will help how he reflects you, right? So how he shows up. But if you still hold assumptions of him, like holding him in the old story, that's going to result in him still behaving like the old version. You have to see him as a new version first. And I know that could be a pain in the ass when they're not acting the way we want. I know that. I know. But we have to, let me just say this. I know it's like we have to put up with their shit. No, it's not that. Don't tolerate things we don't like. It's just we need to just try our best to see them as that version first.
Yes. Yeah. Don't accept the old version. Don't
No.
accept it. Mm-mm. See, how can I change so many bad stories about an SP if I'm so angry and also angry because I can't seem to get him? Yeah. I know anger is certainly, yeah.
Angry.
When there's a lot of anger, a lot of resentment, that can certainly add a layer onto everything, to this whole process and this whole journey. Honestly, for me, revision was, I'm telling you, it helped so much with a lot of the anger, the rejection, the hurt, the pain, a lot of the things from past experiences that, it seemed like no matter how I tried, it just wouldn't stop. It was really hard to shake. That's one thing. But that all stems back to self-concept.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, if it helps, and I know because this helped me, so maybe it'll help you. When I was manifesting my SP back after our last breakup, there was things I was angry and upset about too that he did. It helped me to remember that we are the ones manifesting everything, right? So the things he did that angered me, although we don't have to blame ourselves, it's not about beating ourselves up for manifestation, right? It's not that. It's just knowing, okay, it was my old shitty thinking that, caused the manifestation to show up, caused him to show up in a way we didn't like. It's not about blaming ourselves. I cannot stress that enough, right? We're not consciously doing it. But what made me feel better was knowing, okay, if I start addressing the things about my self-concept, any inner beliefs and assumptions that I know I'm holding that probably need to be addressed, I know that if I work on that, he will change. He will conform, essentially, to my new self-concept.
Absolutely.
So sometimes it helps to know that I'm the one in charge, so you gotta change.
Absolutely. 100%. SP and I are back together.
Awesome.
Yay! Probably the 5th time we separated and got back together. How do I forget the bad memories relating to our SP and how things turned bad in the past? Revision. Revision. I'm telling you. If it's anything that is unwanted, anything that happened that is unwanted, erase it. Wipe it from the memory banks. Have you ever used astral travel or out-of-body experiences to manifest? Oh, man.
I haven't. I have not. Do you? Have you?
I have actually. I had a crazy out-of-body experience before I even learned about any of this.
Really?
Before I knew about Neville. Oh, yeah.
Tell me about it. No. I've never astral traveled. I've never, ever done that. I've always wanted to, but
I certainly didn't do it on purpose. I don't know. I wasn't on drugs. I don't know. I remember this was maybe, oh God, like 7 years ago. And I fell asleep in my garage, and I used to have a couch out in my garage, and I was exhausted. I forget, long day. And I ended up falling asleep, and I like opened my eyes, and I woke up, and I looked down, and I was like staring at my body.
Oh my God.
I was like, well, but I wasn't freaked out or anything. It was like, that's weird. And then I walked through, because there was a door that led to the living room and the inside of the house. So I walked inside the house, and there was nobody. I think my roommate was asleep upstairs, but nobody was home. I went out the front door, and I leaped, and I remember being able to leap and jump, and it was taking off. And I was able to do these leaps and bounds. It was wild. I should make a video about that experience too.
What? You need to make a video.
It was wild. It was wild. It was just I wasn't flying per se, but I was definitely these giant leaps and kind of jumping all over the neighborhood. And then I remembered at one point I was like, oh, I need to go back and feed my dog. I was like, my roommate's probably wondering where I am, because it felt like I had been gone for hours. And then as soon as I realized that, I opened my eyes and I was back in my garage. It was nuts.
Oh
It was
my God.
nuts. Yeah. Don't know how I did it, but that was crazy.
It's amazing. If I could do that, and if I ever figure out you guys are all so screwed, because I'm going to come to your homes and I'm going to figure out if you're friggin' on your manifestation things. That's what I'm going to do with then I'm going to spy on people. I'm going to abuse the power.
Oh, yes. Oh, man. Oh, it's amazing. Oh, sorry. I feel like I'm giving SP all of my energy. I would kind of like it back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
feel like attached to him as I have invested my thoughts and energy in him. I want it back to feel like the bad bitch that I am. Yes.
I'm talking about.
That's it.
Do
That's
it.
Yeah.
Go for it. Put all your energy back on yourself. Work on that self-concept. It'll be back.
Yep. Take your power back.
Mm-hmm.
Take it back. It's yours.
Hell yeah.
This is your reality. Never forget that.
Yes. Ooh, how do we learn self-concept if we don't validate through others? Ooh, but it's how you feel. How that's what I would do. Like, how do you feel? Do you feel empowered? Do you feel good about yourself? Do you feel good when you look in the mirror? You know, how are you relating? Sorry, Missy, I took right over on that.
No, please.
How are you feeling? You know, how do you feel? Are you feeling bad about yourself? Are your thoughts going negative? Meaning, are you rehashing other like past experiences? Meaning attached to self-concept with relationships, your relationship to their family, are all those type of things coming up? And how do you feel about yourself? Are you comfortable in your skin? I mean, there's tons of ways to figure out where your self-concept's at.
Bingo.
Without validating through other people, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And feeling is always the secret.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling about you?
Yes.
How do you look at you? How do you love you? How do you all of that? Yes.
Yes.
Let's see. With living in the end, can you go into detail of how real you have to be in the state, like as far as do you have to be delusional? No. I hate saying it that way, but I don't know how else to word it.
I'm gonna let you go. You're good. You're good with the details. Where I'm.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. You're fantastic. But so, how real do you have to be in the state, like as far as you have to be delusional? So, no, it's not a feeling. If you're feeling like it's delusional, I wouldn't say that feels very real, does it? Right? I mean, that's like when we feel like delusional, we're feeling like we're lying to ourselves. So,
Right.
Yeah, no. Detail of how real you have to be in the state. I hate saying that word. So,
how real you have to be in the state, like as far as you do have to be delusional.
trying to understand the question.
I know.
Mm-hmm. Can you go into detail of how real you have to be in that state?
I just want to say that, like, when you're in the state, no matter what state you're in, because we're shifting states
all the time,
like moment to moment. Mm-hmm. It can be. You might come back to the same, what I call the home state, right? Your natural state. And it doesn't always mean that your natural state is your best state, by the way, right? But it's not like you're faking the state. So it's not of how real you have to be in the state. You don't feel like you're faking something or faking it to be real while you're in that state. You see what I'm saying? It's not about. Hold on, I'm reading a message here. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Okay.
Do you have to fake that your manifestation is already here and in the 3D and all that kind of shit? No.
No. You don't have to fake it till you make it.
No. It's knowing it's done, right? Believing it's done, but not necessarily manifested in the 3D. You know it's done up here. It's created in your subconscious mind. It's already in the existence in a multiple reality. That's what I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. it's kind of that feeling of like fullness or satisfaction of like there's nothing left I have to do. You
Yes.
don't have to fake it. Don't have to pretend like it's here in the 3D next to you right now. Like clearly your senses can see that it's not, but
Right.
it's more of like it's already good. Like everything's good.
Yes.
Everything's booked and ready to go.
Yes.
When manifesting an SP in a no contact situation with multiple third parties, how do we make sure that we are manifesting from a place of confidence and not from a place of lack? Note your mental conversations. Note how you feel.
Yep. How do you
And
feel?
Be honest with yourself. Be honest all the time. Really, that's where the self-observation comes in. Like, you will be able to, I mean, we can usually tell the difference between the state of lack and the state of,
Confidence.
Yeah.
And I just want to add, listen, we can manifest from the state of lack. It's just that we don't want to. We don't want to because we want our manifestations to come in all juicy. We want that juicy sassiness. We want that love back, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where our self comes in, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's important to note. I have been seeing myself pushed out, but have been struggling to consciously create SP money, even smaller things. I know I am God, so I am not seeing results recently. I used to very often. And I'm not seeing. Been seeing myself pushed out, but I have been struggling to consciously create. So, seeing yourself pushed out in ways that maybe aren't so great, aren't wanted, or like you've been noticing you unconsciously create. I'm trying to understand. I'm sorry.
I think that they're saying that they're not able to manifest their SP, their money, smaller things. You're seeing yourself pushed out. I'm under the assumption that what you mean is that in others you are seeing everyone is you pushed out, so you're experiencing that. But you're struggling to do the smaller things, which remember, it's us humans who call manifestations big and small. Manifestations, right? All manifestations.
The law works the same.
Yeah. In those situations, I usually recommend that try to focus on either make yourself a list. Make yourself a list of things that you would like to see show up in your 3D, like a weekly list. I know some people make daily lists, weekly lists, but not with an attachment, meaning that you're going to be triggered and fall apart if they don't show up in the next hour. Just put them on a list, like a fun list, simple things you don't have any attachment to, like a purple turtle or something silly, but something that when it does show up, you will know, okay, that was me. That can help build your faith up a little bit more. You're already aware that you're the God of your reality. You've already got a big step forward. That's good, right? But I think maybe when we hyper focus that we're not seeing manifestations, we're not getting what we want, we kind of give ourselves like a resistance. We push ourselves out a little bit because we're affirming over and over or acknowledging that I can't manifest. I'm not manifesting. Nothing's showing up. You're focusing in the opposite direction, essentially.
Right. No, and testing the law, playing with it, and really play with it. Like make it a game. Have fun with it.
Yes.
That is a wonderful way to build up that faith without the attachment one way or the other.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I still do that. I still love to have fun with the law of assumption. I've manifested, I've got the things. I've manifested the big things that I've had out there that I wanted. But I still want to have fun with this. You know what I mean? I don't want this to ever become boring. Right? We're manifesting all the time, but you know what I'm trying to say. I like keeping it light.
Yes. Always. All the time.
Yeah.
I agree. Ooh, super chats. 2 awesome days with SP, then she vanished. I've persisted in my SP scene, but was wondering if I should start with steps if we are no contact. So starting in manifesting in steps.
Yeah.
So there's a struggle to live in that end, from what I'm gathering.
Yeah. Can I just say this? Like, listen, when I first met my specific person, he was a stranger. So I didn't know him. And I was very new to the law of assumption. I had just discovered it. And I had come from law of attraction. So I had a lot of limited beliefs to shake off. I utilized manifesting in steps to manifest more things with my specific person. But I just want to say, it is from my experience and my belief that manifesting in steps, although wonderful, is geared for when you don't, or you're struggling to have faith in the law of assumption, that that you are the God of your reality, that you have all this creation power. The steps build your faith after you hit each step, but truthfully, going to the end is always the best result.
Yeah.
I feel. But
Yeah.
I'm not taking a crap on manifesting with steps. I did it. I utilized it. So it does have its place and purpose. So if you're struggling to believe, yeah, go with the steps. But if not, stick to the end and don't worry about the putting out the fires in the middle.
Right. Well said. That's perfect.
Yeah.
I don't see anything inevitably wrong with manifesting in steps, and it can be great for faith building.
Yes.
But if and when, go to the end.
Yes.
Go straight to the end. Go straight to the end.
Yeah.
Kimberly, are you still good on time? Want to be conscientious?
I have 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I got coaching calls. Unexplainable coaching calls. This was not my plan, but we're gonna go live again together to make up for this.
Yes.
In 1 hour. So I'm sorry. Okay.
No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. No, we are gonna go live again next month. Yep. I will stay on for a little bit.
Okay.
I will stay here for a little bit longer. Yes. Yes. Can you give examples of people, behaviors you changed? Oh.
I don't want to admit some of mine. I don't want them to know that I've manifested those changes, but just know that I have definitely done that. Definitely. Are you kidding me? I don't know if my SP's watching tonight, so I'm not saying anything. Okay.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. My specific I mean, we are always affecting the people's behaviors around us.
Yes.
I mean, I think everyone, if you can look back and think about it, like, you can see a change in behavior based on your state of consciousness and where you were. 100%.
Yep.
100%. Can you visualize many different scenes during the day? Like, was getting my nails done today and imagine walking and sitting next to me. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Live in your imagination. That's where it's at. That is where it's at. All righty. Right. Kimberly, do you have time for one more? Or
yeah, let's do one more. Yeah, let's do one more.
Okay.
I'll do one more. I know you're staying on. Okay. And Kim, any tips or help for anyone manifesting with trauma or how to let it go? I see patterns in my reality that make me feel like I need help to create lasting change. Well, I'm just gonna say, like, I'm not sure what your trauma is, and I'm not gonna ask you to share, right? Keep things private. But first of all, with trauma, just know that you are no different when it comes to manifesting. You are allowed to be doing whatever you want. So don't think that. I don't want you to think that you're so different that it has to be, applied differently to you, because you're not. Everybody, trauma is relevant, meaning to each person, they decide what their traumatic experiences are. It's not for us to decide which one is more traumatic over the other. Everyone is working through something. Mm-hmm. Everyone is working through something in their life. And the utilization of revision and self-concept can work wonders in your life and will not limit you in any way. We are limitless beings. So whatever you've experienced, you don't have to have that as your identity in a sense. You are allowed to be just you, just you. So yes, there are my tips and tricks: revision, self-concept.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
And on that one, guys, I'm gonna have to take off.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to be back in February.
Yeah, February. We're planning. We're thinking February 9th. That's the tentative plan.
Tentative date. But we will definitely announce it as the time gets closer.
Yes. And to all of my HBICs who came over here tonight, thank you very much. Thank you. So I didn't show up without any friends. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. and hello to all of Missy's peeps. Hello. And we'll be back together soon. Right?
Yay. Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely.
All right, guys.
All right. Bye, Kimberly. Take care. Oh, we do love Kim. Kim is amazing. Absolutely love that woman. Yay. So I'm going to be around for a little bit longer, answering some of y'all's questions. And thank you all so much again for joining, by the way. Much, much love to all of you. We will be doing this again next month. As a Catholic, is it okay to just assume that I'll get everything I want because God has never failed me? I struggle with the law of assumption and my Catholic beliefs. Yes. So I obviously do not come from a strict religious background, but I've talked to many people and have worked with many people that have. And absolutely, if it resonates better to say, I get everything I want because God has never failed me, you can absolutely say that. You can absolutely, this is really about coming to a place of understanding and trusting you. And you want to get to that place where you can begin to build that trust. So if it does resonate better, then kind of starting from that state of consciousness. But ultimately, as you move through this journey, as you really begin to build your faith in the law, things are going to radically shift and grow for you. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited for you on this journey. Can we use revision to change our self-concept? Wouldn't it be easier to just alter the past to fit the version we want to be now instead of focusing on now and using the self-concept, affirmation, and visuals? I mean, absolutely, you can use revision to change your self-concept. And, there are, our self-concept is basically the combination of the building blocks of the beliefs and assumptions that we carry. And these beliefs and assumptions that we carry have been, our experiences, environment growing up, the people around us, our parents, our friends, family, the people that have helped shape us. So, if there was any times that through an experience or through something that happened, it left an impression on you, then yeah, we can absolutely, I utilize revision for a lot of the self-concept work that I did personally. Not to take away from, using affirmations if that resonates more with you or anything else. These are all still, at the end of the day, just tools. Revision is a tool. Affirmations are a tool. These are all things to help you feel and ultimately become that version of you that you desire to be. What do we do after having a big movement? What do we do after having a big movement? Celebrate. No, so let yourself get excited. If you notice something radically shift or change in your 3D environments based on what you've been consciously working on manifesting, you're absolutely allowed to let yourself, enjoy that, relish in it, have fun with it. Yeah. I had lots of, a few weeks ago, and recently it's been quiet. I'm manifesting an SP. This is normal. Awesome. So yeah, there absolutely can be times where it feels like a lot's happening. Yeah. So yes, we were talking about earlier in the stream, and I'm not sure if you were here to catch that, but we were talking about, what to do if it feels like things are stagnant. And it's important to remember that things are never stagnant. It may appear to you, because of the 3D scope, that there is no movement, but it's important to remember that there's always movement happening, right? So even if it's, you saw a lot of movement, a lot of birds before land, a lot of things happening, and then it goes quiet, that doesn't mean things just stopped, right? So what I would recommend doing is keep persisting, keep going. It's easy to get discouraged sometimes when we feel like things are faltering, things are stuck, things aren't moving, but with that persistence, there's always, always, always movement going on. Just because we can't see it in the 3D doesn't mean that it's not happening. And that's something to try to keep in mind always. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. Can I give up on a manifestation? I'm tired of just the outcomes. Oh, I think I lost somebody on my end. I lost my assistant who was reading the questions out. I'm just going to go ahead and read some questions from the chat. Can I give up on my manifestations if I'm tired of just... Oh, shoot, where did it go? Sorry. Can I give up on my manifestations if I'm tired of just the outcomes before my manifestation? I'm trying to understand your question, Jay. I'm so sorry. Can I give up on my manifestations if I'm tired? So sorry, it got cut off. Just the outcomes before my manifestation. I mean, if you need to, and if I answered this wrong, or if I didn't get this right, I do apologize. But if you need to take a break, if you're feeling exhausted, tired, burned out, then give yourself that break, right? Like, it's so important at the end of the day to take care of you. Take care of you, take care of your health, take care of your mind, take care of your body. So if you're ever feeling like you're exhausted and you need to pump the brakes for a second, you can do that. Absolutely. You can always, once you've kind of recharged your batteries and replenished yourself, you can always just kind of jump back on that bandwagon. But take care of yourself first and foremost. You are so welcome. In order for your visualization to be effective, do you have to be in a relaxed state? Can we just close our eyes and visualize during the day? So I've found personally, I've found that it's been more helpful when I am in more of a relaxed state. I notice anytime if I'm feeling super anxious, trying to visualize, it just feels like I'm kind of hitting myself against the wall. It does kind of help when you're in a more relaxed state, when you're in a quieter space, your mind is not really spinning so much, and you're not as likely to maybe go off the rails or get distracted by something. Do you have to be? No. Is it helpful to be in a more relaxed state? Personally, yes, I would say. If you're feeling really good just in general but don't see movement, does that mean anything? Like I need to focus more on one subject specifically? I mean, you can absolutely, if you're feeling good in general, and you're not seeing movement in one specific direction or one specific area that you may be trying to work on, you can absolutely kind of hone in and begin to imagine for that thing specifically. Yes, absolutely. How do we know we're in the awareness part of quantum jumping or for affirming? Is it normal to sit in silence for a while? I feel like I'm so close. Yes. Yeah. So it is normal to sit in the silence for a while. You know, there was a reason that Neville always said at the end of each lecture, let us go into the silence. It's in that silence that you begin to build that new world. So it is normal. It is normal sometimes to feel like maybe there's nothing going on. Maybe you're just sitting in silence for a while, but I would bump it up. I would keep going. You are so welcome. Y'all are awesome, by the way. How do we know we're in the awareness part? If you're manifesting yourself to have a skill or take an action, but have no motivation or intention at the moment to do so, will this be an example of inspired action or an altered autopilot? I like altered autopilot. I like that. If you're manifesting yourself to have a skill or take an action, but have no motivation or intention at the moment to do so. I believe, if I'm understanding you correctly, I believe that is an example of inspired action. Yes. You will be moved without consciously trying. Yes. Awesome. 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 Oh, we love you too, Samantha. Much love to you too. I know. I love this. We're going to be doing this next month as well. This is going to be a thing because Kimberly is awesome. Sorry, guys. Couple technical things on my end we're sorting out right now. One moment. Any advice for manifesting SP who I'm close with? Letting go of barriers to stay in the 3D, such as time, distance, and how we'll get to know each other. Niceness. So first, it's kind of important to note and remember that the circumstances surrounding it doesn't matter. You know, we don't have to, you know, if it's somebody that you don't know very well, somebody you haven't been close with, somebody you haven't known for very long, I mean, ultimately those are not things that are going to have, it's not going to make or break the manifestation, you know. So it's important to keep in mind we have a tendency as humans to put these kind of limitations on our situation based on the circumstances. You know, oh, it's going to be difficult because he's far away, or I don't know them very well, or, you know, there's somebody else in the picture, whatever it might be. You know, first it would be, you know, I would recommend trying to practice getting familiar with the feeling of limitless, no limitations, and that's going to help make this a little bit more like palpable. That's going to help make it a little bit more easy to chew, as far as, oh gosh, this is going to be such a mountain to climb. You know, I have all these hurdles to overcome. So first things first, really get familiar with limitless that you are. We are infinite creatures. There is no bounds. There is no restrictions. Ever. Oh, what can I do to let go of resistance when my... Oh, sorry, 1 second. 1 second. What can I do to let go of resistance when my SO is married? His child now says he can't leave because of his son. What can I visualize or affirm to feel us more real? So that, as far as when it comes to releasing resistance, that is more self-concept focus, right? So that would be more you, not so much the circumstances. So kind of like what I was just saying before, it doesn't matter what the situation may look like. It doesn't matter what they said. It doesn't, like, none of that truly matters. And I know it feels like it does. I know it feels like this is solidly real and this is an obstacle. But it's only because we believe that. It's only because maybe we don't have full faith that we are the God of our reality and that there are no limitations. So really, first things first, I would recommend self-concept and focusing on self-concept and focusing on becoming more and more aware of the fact that there are no limitations and that you are a powerful being and that this world is yours for the taking. Start with self-concept first and foremost. What would you recommend for doing before sleeping? Sat's lullaby or quantum jumping? Sat's lullaby or quantum jumping. I usually alternate, but I'm not sure if doing one every night is better since it'd be more often. What would I recommend? I mean, I love all of those. I love all of those. I mean, really, it's, if you have a preference, if there's, one of those or a couple of those that you prefer more than others, go with what resonates most, or just rotate between the three of them. One night go all in on Sats. Next night go all in on lullaby. Next night go all into preparing a quantum leap. It's really whatever you enjoy and whatever gives you the most amount of satisfaction. But those are all great. And I love all three of those. Oh my gosh, thank you for the super chat, Michael. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, thank you. You are so sweet. Thank you, Michael. Oh, you're gonna make me cry. I'm not crying, you're crying. Oh my goodness. Michael, thank you so much. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the kind words. You just made my night. Oh. I feel like a failure for not manifesting a stop to my divorce. Almost a year later, I still want him. There's been zero movement, and I'm so confused. I am so sorry for... First and foremost, I am so sorry that, the circumstances are what they are. But as difficult as it can be sometimes for us, we should learn to we should try to get to a place of forgiving ourselves and accepting ourselves. There were many times where I felt like a complete failure for what happened with me in my relationship and things in general. But ultimately, we did not know back then what we do now. We were not aware. We did not consciously try to sabotage anything. We if we feel like a failure, that's kind of an old state, old story place that's coming from that old place that we used to dwell in. So first and foremost, be gentle. Be gentle with yourself. Have compassion for yourself. I know it's hard given the circumstances. But it's, you know, we do need to get to a place where we learn to forgive ourselves and we learn to free ourselves from that kind of hell of failure and beating ourselves up and feeling worthless. No, you are you are the God of your reality. And you can in fact do anything. But first things first, be gentle with yourself. Can you tell us how long it took you to visualize? Can you tell us how long it took you to visualize well? And also how to practice visualization practically? Oh gosh, how long did it take to visualize? So it was, for me, definitely an ongoing practice. Visualization was not something that came super effortlessly for me. I know there are some people that have a very vivid imagination and they can just see picture perfect. I was not one of those people. I was not one of those people. It is very much like you can think of your imagination like a muscle, and it's a muscle that you need to exercise and really practice with it. At first, when you try to visualize, you might not see anything. It might be blurry, it might be dark, you might get distracted. That's normal. That is completely normal, and that does happen for a lot of people. But the more that you work at it, the more that you practice bit by bit, you're going to start getting a little bit sharper. Maybe that image is going to come in a little bit clearer. Maybe you're going to be able to bring in those senses a little bit stronger. And you just work at it. You work at it, you work at it. And there were specific visualization exercises that I practiced with to kind of sharpen that imaginary muscle. So, there are some, and I made a video talking about some of those exercises that I did. I think I titled it like how to visualize or steps to visualize, something like that. But I made a video talking about it. I used some exercises to help, just like learning anything new, just like learning how to ride a bike, just like learning a new language or learning how to play a musical instrument. Practice makes perfect. But it took me a minute, not gonna lie. It took practice. All right, I'm gonna do a couple more questions and then I do have to get going. Just FYI, guys. I'm sorry. I would be here all night with you guys if I could. Why do I start having positive dreams where my SP is in them, but then I start having dreams that are basically identical to the current reality? Like I'll have a dream where I'm still manifesting it. So first off, dreams are important to kind of take note of. Even if not saying that they're always going to make sense, but that is kind of a window into what's going on subconsciously. And if you're noticing kind of dreams back and forth, from one moment dreaming of the desired state to basically the current state, it could be that there is some double-mindedness going on, which double-mindedness is essentially where we are moving in and out of that desired state to the state that we're dwelling in currently. So really, first things first, I would just really kind of ramp up the awareness of where you are during your day-to-day, what you're occupying, what you're thinking, the mental diet, and really be mindful of what is going on internally, right? Because if you're noticing a back and forth, it's because there's a back and forth within us. 1 second. Any tips to ignore the 3D / stop worrying about the outcome and embody the state? Any tips to ignore the 3D? Persist, 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 persist. And I know that gets to be such an annoying answer, but it really is. Like, we need to look at this like we are literally training our mind to do something radically different than the way that we've always operated. Like, this is a very radical new way of thinking. And have patience with yourself. focus on yourself and really always remember that the 3D is always it's a perfect outpicturing of whatever state that we are occupying. So look at it as feedback. Don't judge it. Don't get mad at it. Just notice it and realize that this is feedback. Okay, so I'm becoming more aware of what I need to do within, where I need to go within in order to ultimately materialize this desired 3D state, right? So basically, persistence above all else, knowing and understanding that this does take practice. This isn't something that, for a lot of us, we need to kind of rework that mindset. We need to remember this is a new way of thinking. Go easy on yourself. And remember that the 3D is malleable. It's clay. You can always reshape it. And it's always just feedback. Never matters. It truly does not matter. And through this practice, you will get to that place. You will get to a place where you have it becomes a knowing. It becomes a knowing that none of this matters. None of it matters. So keep persisting. Did you have multiple days of living in the end and then hit a bump of doubt or fear? Also, how long did it take you to have a constant wish-fulfilled days? Did working on self-concept get you to this state fast? So yes, first part of your question, yes, I did have, there were absolutely moments where, I was doing good, I was in a great place, and then, boom, fear, doubt, worry, reaction. That absolutely that happened. How long did it take to get the constant wish fulfilled days? Did working on self-concept. So yes, working on me, working on myself, ultimately that was the thing that helped move me into the Sabbath, that helped move me into that place of inner knowing that it's done, knowing that there's no work left to do. Yes, that was a huge realization that I had, that no matter how much I tried to, I could focus on the outside, I could focus on that person, I could do all these things over there, but if I wasn't reshaping my self-concept, if I was still trying to carry all of those old beliefs and assumptions and limitations, then I was going to ultimately find myself in the same predicament. I was going to find myself in the same kind of outcomes. So I knew that I had to change, because there is truly no one to change but self. No one to change but self. What would you do if your SP says they need space? Revision. Revise that. Do not accept it. If it's not wanted, if it's something you don't like, if it's something you don't want, do not accept it. Do not accept it. This is your reality. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Thank you, sweet warrior. All right, one more question after this one, guys, and then I got to jet. Your manifest SP meditation helped me visualize, and now I don't have any issues. Oh my gosh! That's fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm so glad. I'm so glad to hear that. Yes. You are wonderful. Have an awesome night. Thank you. I am not too sure how revision works and how to go about doing it. The past seems to already be a done deal. I find it hard to change what has already happened. And that's a normal feeling. That's a normal feeling. We're all conditioned to believe that. Like the past feels like it's solidified in stone. But the truth is, there is no such thing as the past or the future. Those are concepts. They're made up. They're not actually real. The only moment that truly exists is right now. So just like we create a scene and visualize something for the future, we can do the same thing for the past. because the past doesn't just stay in the past. The past will come up and face you again and again and again and again. And that's why there's so much importance behind revision. Because whether it's bad memories, whether it's old concepts, those are things that are going to keep coming up for you, keep coming up for you, keep coming up for you. It doesn't just stay there. It is going to come up, and you're going to encounter it again. So that, that's why Neville even put so much emphasis on revision. And that's why he said that if all of his followers forgot everything that he taught, except revision, that alone would be enough to radically change your life. And I know it takes a minute to wrap your head around. I know it's very bizarre when we first find out about it. But another great way to prove it to yourself is put it to the test. Put it to the test. Test it. Don't take my word for any of this, guys. Test it. Okay, 2 really quick questions, and then I do have to jet. 2 more. Does revision have to be this long, drawn-out script, or is there a quicker way to revise? It doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out script, no. No. It can honestly be, as long or short, quick, fast as you like, really. I would actually condense it down to, whatever that moment was that had happened, except playing out now in the way that you would have wanted it to play out instead. I just flip it. But it doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out script. No. No, it is not. All right. When Neville says we are God, does he mean the God, or just God of our own specific reality? So we are all God. We are all parts of, we are all one consciousness. When Neville says God, when we talk about God of Scripture, it's consciousness. It's awareness. So when Neville says that we are God, we are, in fact, because all of us are conscious. All of us are part of that bigger collective consciousness. But when it comes to your identity, when it comes to your reality, your experience in your world, your fraction of it, you are, you're the one in the driver's seat. But we are all, you can look at it like extensions of the bigger, right? We are all extensions of the bigger collective consciousness, yes. So both. All right, last question. What can we do when we spiral when manifesting our SPs? So, first off, it's important to note that if you do have a moment, if you do spiral, if you do react, if you do freak out, don't beat yourself up about it. Don't give yourself a hard time. Don't get mad at yourself. Like, I know it's easier said than done, and the first instinct is to want to get mad at ourselves, but that's not going to help. Like, we're humans having human experiences sometimes. Like, we're still having this human experience. And if we have a reaction, if we spiral, it's okay. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Don't get mad at yourself. Just as soon as you are feeling better, like as soon as you kind of let it out, because we don't want to bottle it up either. We don't want to start suppressing what we're feeling, because that is going to backfire. So if we spiral, if we have a moment, if we have a reaction, forgive yourself. Revise it. When you realize what had just happened, go back and erase it. Ultimately, that's what revision is for. That's the beauty of it. So if you notice yourself spiraling, if you notice that you did have a reaction, Don't freak out. Take some deep breaths. Get yourself calm. Revise it. Go into a meditation. Go into self-love, self-gratitude, whatever it is that, if you have a specific practice that you enjoy, go into that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's okay. It's okay. You can always, always, always get yourself back on track. Every time. All right, you guys. Much, much love. Much love. This was awesome. This was wonderful. Thank you guys so much for joining. We will do this again very soon. Definitely, as soon as we have more set dates and times, we will be announcing that for the next live stream. Y'all have been the best. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'll love to y'all, and take care.